Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. Preparing for a hurricane evacuation can be difficult for anyone, but for coastal residents in particular with medical needs, physical disabilities, or limited transportation options, evacuation can be even more challenging. If you need assistance, now is the time to apply for the Coastal Health District's Hurricane Registry. County Nurse Manager Sierra Peebles is here along with Public Information Officer for the Coastal Health District, Ginger Heidel, who's normally behind the scenes. They join us now with more. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, it's sort of like a reunion in here. You're here, another one of our former colleagues. He's here, he's in the control room getting ready for the show, but I digress. Let's talk about the issue at hand, and that's the Hurricane Registry, which was established some time ago, but you're trying to get the word out because so many people do not know that this exists.
Sure. So every year we talk about this when we start up hurricane season, even though the registry is open all year long. But we really need people to make plans early. And that is for anybody in any kind of disaster. It's important to have a plan. But if you're someone who has a medical issue, a physical challenge, you don't have transportation, you really can't wait until the last minute to have a plan. And so we're here to make sure people understand about the Hurricane Registry, what it can do, what it can't do, who it's for, who it's not for. And if it is appropriate for them, we want them to take action now to apply for the registry.
So that's what we'll pick up. Who is it for and who is it not for?
Yeah, absolutely. So our Hurricane Registry targets those in our population who have some type of disability or need. So those who live at home, they're independent, however, they need a little extra assistance, whether they be on oxygen, whether they be a diabetic taking insulin, a walker, wheelchair, things like that, who maybe can't get around on their own and again just need that little extra assistance, but overall they are pretty independent on their own.
Why was this put in place? Because we know the impact that hurricanes have on our community, but when you're some of the most vulnerable people, the impact is even greater.
This is really it's a last resort safety net. If you're someone you're in a nursing home, an assisted living facility, that facility is going to have an evacuation plan for you. If you are someone you've got a car, you have transportation, or you can get yourself to an assembly area that the Chatham Emergency Management may have to evacuate people, then that's your plan. So this is really for those people who kind of fall in the gap in that they're at home, so they're not in assisted living, but they don't have transportation and they have some sort of a special need that's going to need to be addressed. They may need to be able to travel by ambulance. They may need paratransit. They may need some special accommodation wherever they're going. That's really who this is for. Those people who in the past may have fallen between the cracks of some of those services that are available. And we want to make sure that everyone, regardless of their situation, can get out if a storm is coming.
And when you think about it, you cover a large area, several different counties. So when you add that up, there are hundreds, thousands of people who are affected.
It's a huge undertaking, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We have a couple hundred already on our list in Chatham, but like you said, this does cover our entire district, so your viewing area. So that's why we want to make sure that everyone who qualifies for our registry knows about it, so they can call us. That way we can get them on our registry and they can have a plan.
So what questions should you ask yourself when you get ready to apply? Because they can do it two ways, right? They can call in or they can fill out a form online.
Yeah, they can call our Hurricane Registry hotline or they can fill out an application online. And when they do that, here in Chatham County, that information goes to Sierra. And so I'll let her tell you about the kind of things she asks.
Please do.
Absolutely. So when we get that information from community members, we look over the application, kind of, see if there's any missing information. Then we actually call each and every person who applies. And if we can't get them, we get their emergency contact because we want to make sure we have the most up-to-date information. We want to know what your medical need is. We want to know what your transportation need is. We want to know if you have pets. We want to know all this information so we can figure out if we are the best option for you or if there are other qualifying services, like Ginger mentioned earlier, that we can refer that community members straight to, so again, no one falls in these gaps.
Because not everyone who applies is going to be right for the registry, but we may be able to help direct them to a service or assistance that is right for them. And I'm sure you can tell through all this, it's not something that's just done super quickly, which is why we really need people not to wait until the last minute. In particular, if you're someone who requires a special type of transport, that may not be available if we're in the middle of an evacuation. So we need to know ahead of time, okay, this person who lives at this address is going to need this particular kind of transportation, so that when the time comes, we can meet that need. But if we don't know that need exists in advance, then we may not be able to meet it.
Yeah. So bottom line, don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until we're facing a storm, because you do this year round.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the registry, it's not like we open it during hurricane season. It's always open, and more importantly, it closes about 72 hours before tropical storm force winds arrive, because our registry people tend to get evacuated before the general population, because we want them off the interstates, we want them in a safe place before everyone else starts trying to get out. So really, time is key.
And so here's another important fact, is that this is a confidential list. This is not a list that's posted everywhere, so people should not be apprehensive about calling you.
Absolutely not. This is a HIPAA protected system. So since we are asking medical information, we're asking identifying questions, name, date of birth, address, what is your medical history, who's your medical providers. That is all kept confidential within the Department of Public Health.
Okay, so people can sign up, like as I mentioned, 2 ways. You can either give the health department a call, or you can fill out the application online. You have information for people in Bryan, Camden, Chatham, Effingham, Glenn, Liberty, Long, and McIntosh counties.
That's right.
Okay, did I cover everything?
I think that's it. Yes,
okay,
yes,
I think
yes.
that's it. Here's the information on your screen to sign up for the Hurricane Registry. Visit our website, wsav.com/Hurricane Central. You'll find everything in one convenient location. Stay with us. You're watching WSAV News 3 today at 11. I forgot to thank you. Thank you so much, but I don't have to, because you'll be back to talk about another topic. We'll be back right after this.